This week has shown me that the apocalypse for Western civilization may already be happening. Let me explain. The Italian anthropologist Ernesto de Martino warned of an insidious Western apocalypse. Not the dramatic end of the world, but a slow, cultural and existential collapse. De Martino identifies the loss of domesticity as the central dimension of cultural crisis. By domesticity, he means the condition of feeling at home in the world, when existence is experienced as familiar, ordered and inhabitable. Its erosion becomes visible in the collapse of traditions and rituals, practices of mourning, marriage or initiation that once anchored communal life. These forms are hollowed out or reduced to empty gestures. Individuals are left unmoored, deprived of the symbolic structures that confer orientation and belonging. Basically, when ritual disappears, so too does the hearth that once sustained shared life. The world remains a dwelling but without a centre. Inhabited, but no longer truly a home. Communication breaks down. Conversations become performative or defensive. We can look at the rise of whataboutism, pointing to others' faults just to justify our own, fractures dialogue further, turning empathy into argument, discussion into a scoreboard. The capacity to recognise one another as fully human begins to erode. Murder is met with either applause or indifference. Charlie Kirk, a father, a man with children who loved him, his death publicly, gleefully celebrated by those who scream with grins on their faces, "It is us who are the compassionate ones," without a trace of self-awareness or shame. Meanwhile, in Gaza, children vanish beneath bombs and rubble, their cries distant and forgotten, simply due to their geographical proximity to many of us, swallowed by the endless scroll of brain-rotting content, a lullaby of stupefaction. In these acts, life is abstracted. The other becomes reduced to a political or tribal marker rather than an actual human being. The shrinking of a shared human dignity. How easily our connections fracture under outrage and ideology, partisanship and alienation. In other words, the very capacity to envision a shared future begins to collapse. What was once understood as a collective project is replaced by fragmentation expressed in forms of tribalism, survivalism, or fantasies of retribution. A future ceases to exist, in effect, when it can no longer be imagined as one we all walk together. For De Martino, this is the Western apocalypse. It is not fire and judgment, not one final day of reckoning, an estrangement and a disorientation. An apocalypse without eschaton, an end without revelation. As Peter Kingsley observes, Western civilization may well be like a record that stopped long ago, spinning slowly towards silence.